They need to set boundaries. They need to be able to go, what's the freedom? And freedom's in the mind. It's not. What about just being right here, respond unable? And if you learn and be present, you are so much more able than shattered everywhere.
Because freedom's a big word. We always are like, yeah, we want more freedom. But like, if we were going to really bring it in, what are some of the areas that you suggest that people could look into?
Straight away, when I'm teaching this one to corporate world of how to manifest, I always say,
really looking forward to this conversation today. Welcome to the show, Jean. It's just wonderful to have you here.
Thank you. Thank you.
Been wanting to interview you for such a long time. I met you back, I can't even remember. It probably would have been like maybe 2015, I'm thinking, because that's when I published my book. And that's kind of how we met and how we stayed connected, because I said I'd published a book. You just went, oh, well, let's blow that out the water, and then published, I don't know, 7?
Eight
books. So super excited to have this conversation. Now, you're an expert in all sorts of things, but today we're going to talk about sacred geometry. Can you start off by telling us exactly what sacred geometry is?
Absolutely. Everyone remembers geometry from school, that there's this and this has a result. It's basic maths. The sacred part means that it's really super special and really fun. We think of sacred like go to a temple and you've got to take your shoes off and you have to bow down, maybe light a candle, some incense, all that. It is that, and it's really ancient. And many lifetimes ago, whether people want to call it tapped into past lives or any of that sort of thing, it's where people of great wisdom, scholars that didn't go to university back then, actually said that people, for their soul evolution, for us to have a great life and feel empowered, we need to know this. And so there's the sacred part. It's an education of mathematics that align everything to, this is today's language, align everything that you feel great, money's good, relationships are good. I know it's happening at my age. It's like having a crystal ball. So sacred geometry is basically saying something ancient, that's a mathematical formula, that this is how you run your life. It is a formula run by the universe. So that's probably the easiest I can explain it as.
And that was super easy. I really love the way that you explained that. That's how you know you're speaking with a true expert. They're able to explain something that's super complex in very easy to understand ways. Specifically, what I want to talk about today is 2024. It's January. We've got an energy, I guess. Is that the wording that you would use? It's the wording I would use. Like, what's the energy of the year? Share with us a little bit about, and I don't know whether you need to sort of back this up, but what are we going to expect in 2024?
Yeah, it's an energy. Every single year has an energy. If I go to 2020, it was a really interesting energy. What about toilet paper? That's what the energy seemed to be.
Or lack of toilet paper.
Or hoarding the toilet paper.
Yeah.
And so there is like a energy, and sacred geometry says that in this year, or next year, whatever it is, this year, these are the things to focus on, and that everything in your life is based around this energy, this awareness.
Mm-hmm.
And so 2024, I'm just going to go on a bit of a journey, because you also said it's January. A lot of people always do your, what do you call them? What's it called now?
Like goals?
No, not goals. It's next year. I better do my New Year's resolution.
Uh-huh.
By the 12th, it's known as Give Up Day.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone gives up on their New Year's resolution by the 12th of January. Why? That's where it relates to what's happening in the seasons. So every season has something, every month has something. In January, Southern Hemisphere is about, go out there, show the world who you are. In the Northern Hemisphere, it's just stay stay quiet, stay at home, it's cold, just reflect. So we've got that as sacred geometry, and then we have the energies of certain things happen at certain times. So if I look at the basic numbers of 13, it just keeps going around the cycle. So the same thing happens, but we're going to go to number 11, because when I go around 13, 14, 15, etc. to 24, number 11 is about responsibility. And people go, oh my Lord, this is going to be about me having responsibility. It's going to be so hard. I've got enough. No. The universe says in this number, it's all about two things. Respond and able, run on responsibility. Where can you respond and you're able? Take the burdens of responsibility off your shoulders. And by the way, in medical tuition, we hold responsibility in our shoulders. And then the number, when you look at the number, the 1-1, what we do in this, I'm going to get a bit crazy word, third dimension, is we blame. It's your fault. No, it's your fault. No, it's your fault. And so we don't realize that I can create anything. If I have an oops and something doesn't work out, I did the other day. I was having these charts made because I run out, and I sent the wrong chart to the printer, where the chart had scribble all over it from the graphic designer.
Yeah.
That's a lot of money. That's okay. I take responsibility and say, respond and able, that costs money, no problems. I'm not blaming myself. I'm not blaming the printer. He should have picked it up. We work out, just there again. Destroy the other template, so it's never used again. What that does, we always want to go the opposite number. That gives us freedom. Number 5 is about freedom. So if I respond and able, I'm going to get this freedom. That's what this year is about. Like, it's so easy, sexy, simple. Okay, then I'm responsible, respond and able, and I'm able to do anything, which a lot of coaches, people teaching NLP, hypnotherapy, coaching, RAS, reticular activating system, potentiality, all those lingo words. It's like, I'm super able. So that's where watching this year, that anything comes up, I am able. I'm going to respond rather than react. React is, that's react, it's respond. And the response is, okay, so made a mistake. No probs. I'll make it happen. And then it's the freedom. And the freedom is in the mind. So that's our basic energy of 2024. But then there's one more thing. This year is all about respect. And respect, people don't understand. Respect held in the organ of the heart. It's all about, I'm going to set boundaries. Does this actually make me feel good on that level? I'm going to respond where that doesn't make me feel good, and I need to set boundaries. So it's a delicious year of empowerment. Every year is, but empowerment to go, responsibility, freedom, respect. Okay, no problems. I'm going to action that. So that's a short version of it.
Just before you go any further, I want to ask a question, because my brain needs to close this loop, and other people might be in this place. Where did the 11 come from?
Bingo. So if you look at this crazy pattern of a circle with a Star of David on it, which is not the Star of David, it looks like, the numbers go 1, 2, 3, and I keep counting around until I get 11. Then if I go 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 1, 2, 3, 4. I've landed in number 11. It's a bit like snakes and ladders. I've landed on a ladder, go up, snake, go down. Or we do the opposite. We go up a snake and down a ladder. And so here, that's why I said, the basic numbers of sacred geometry, that when it's 2037, it's a number 11 again. So that's where the 11 has come in, that it's a series. So great question, because a lot of people go, where's 11? We're 2024. Where's 11 from?
We're confused. I don't understand.
And then not understanding, because a lot of people say, is this numerology? And it's not. Numerology has its own dynamic, powerful energy. And this is mathematical formulas of the universe is saying, do this, and you have your best life. Just follow the bouncing ball. Is a journey in the process of evolution. So 2018, where'd I get 18 from? It's written here, 518, the numbers can go around. Everyone was going, I'm free, I can do this, yeah, that's amazing. There's this sense of freedom that I had. 2019 was all about express yourself differently. So people were trying to express themselves differently, from outfits to speaking up to, I'm going to change careers, I'm not going to wear that color anymore. 2020, which everyone loved that year, was all about, okay, be beside yourself. What? And that's where everyone was. They were like beside themselves. So if I'm going to express myself differently, I've actually got to look at myself and go, how am I going to express myself differently? A lot of people went through a process that they learned. For me, get the courses online. I've been asked for years, get medical tuition online. No. Okay, I'm beside myself. I can't travel. I had all these plans to travel overseas to teach. They're online. Oh, okay. 2021. Oh my gosh, that's me. This is me. I teach online, offline. 2022, number 9. Okay, something has to finish. And the finish can be a limitation of I can't teach online and offline. 2023 that we've just done, the monkey mind. Number 10 is all about the monkey mind. And I always say it's kind mind and the magic of thinking big, but a lot of people in 2023 struggled and had that little monkey mind. I can't do it.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
So that's why I say it's a journey. Even in the process, when I'm just a year, it's actually a journey of how we're evolving as a soul.
So using the number 11 in sacred geometry, what are some of the things that we can look out for, specifically as coaches, as business owners and entrepreneurs? What are some of the things that we can look out for? And how can we use this energy to help us to get the most from it?
One of the things, especially in business, is taking responsibility. So one of the things I did ready for this year is go through all my contracts, online, offline, written, review them all to see where am I responsible as a business owner. Contacting ATSEC and Office of Fair Trading and all that sort of thing. Make sure all my things are up to date. One of the rules in Australia is if there's a change of mind, I am responsible to offer that Gertrude decides to change her mind. I'm responsible to say, thank you so much. You can change your mind, but we have a no refund policy for change of mind, which is according to ATSEC. It's written in the documentation. But I'm going to have some freedom, number 5, and say, however, I'm going to give you 1 month that you can come to something else of the same value, which then is value add for the client. So it's checking contracts, responsibility. It's also knowing the energy of that they, the clients, may not take responsibility. So what's an example? That they didn't read the contract. Yeah, but I didn't read the contract. I just trusted you. That is not my responsibility. And it's not about going into defensive pattern with the client. It's just knowing, breathe. I took all the responsibilities to support that person and read the contract on the thing. I gave it to them. I gave them an opportunity to be responsible. So there we go. It's all good. And that gives peace of mind to the business owner. In regards to coaches, for example, and responsibility, it's understanding, because coaches have got a heart like this.
Huge. Absolutely.
Yep. And want to see the potential in the other person. They want to see them amazing. It's almost like a personal trainer, like, let's go. But they can burn themselves out. And taking personal responsibility is I'm going to make sure I set boundaries. Maybe I'll limit my times. I won't say to clients, just text me anytime, or have like I've got 4 virtual assistants. They answer my texts. They answer my social media. So I'm not in burnout all the time. Personal responsibility. Do you need to get, after I teach, the next day, especially when I teach the 9-day medical intuition, on the Monday, I love my clients. You can't contact me. I'm being massaged on the Monday. We finished off today.
Yeah.
Am I having a massage? Do I have great food, filtered water? Do I have a coach to support me? Do I have a team? It's all of that. As a coach, the personal responsibility for me, I've got to look after me before I'm going out and giving. And that's for business owners as well. Responsibility of your team. So as soon as we started back this year, my team and I had a meeting, and it's right, let's just define what's your responsibility, what's mine. And I noticed that late last year, a couple of them were saying, oh, Jean, can you just check, is this the right thing? No, they've been doing it for 4 years. Don't ask me to check. It's your responsibility. Check, double check, get one of the other team members to check, and give it to me when it's finished. So it's passing on a gift of responsibility for others as well. That ultimately brings in the opposite number, this freedom that everyone's wanting, freedom of time, money, thoughts, all of that sort of thing. Yeah.
It's interesting. Well, actually, it's not interesting, like, because it's in the energy, right? But I'm just thinking as you're talking, so on the last day of the year, Leon and I sit down and we review our year. And it's a thing that we've done for the last few years, is that we take the afternoon out and we usually open a bottle of wine and we journal. We journal separately, and then we kind of come together. And one of the big things that came up for us both, and we talked about this in a podcast a couple of weeks ago, was there were sort of 3 lessons that we took out of 2023. And one of them was that we let our boundaries lax a little bit. And that for us, that 2024, we wanted to tighten up our boundaries for the reason that when our boundaries are tighter, we're able to offer support more to the people in our world, to our clients, to our community. So it's interesting, we know that the energy doesn't finish on, at midnight on the 31st of December and start, the new energy. But, we were obviously feeling into this. This was a big theme that we talked about. And when I say we do this for journaling, I think we spent at least 6 hours on it this year. We don't normally spend that long, but we really got into a great conversation of unpacking it. And this was something big. And we were talking about, well, what does that look like? What do these boundaries look like? How are we going to set these boundaries? And it's a conversation that has continued, and even was on as you were mentioning with your team, literally 2 hours ago was a conversation on our team meeting.
And you're right, the energy, because this is quantum field, so it's not linear time. The energy of 2024 came in on the 11th of November at 11:11. And energy will continue to the 26th of January next year. So there's an overlap so that people can. And what's the boundary? Like, boundaries are, people say it's a rule. No. One of my boundaries is, when you come to an offline event, my favorite color is gold. And we have this bag that's gold sparkles. As soon as people enter, you have to put your mobile phone in. And now you have to put your digital
smartwatch.
All of that in the thing. And people are like, and I explain, why do I do that? We've become a society that's like this. Yeah, I'm listening. Yeah, sure.
Phone.
Wait, what's that? What? Oh, wait. Okay. What? Hello. And so you can't be present. That's my boundary. You come and play with me, phone and smartwatch in the gold bag. You will get them at the breaks, but there's an emergency. You will get them at the break. We once upon a time didn't have a phone. And so those that come to my course, it was so cute. Those that have been to my courses, then they handed over the phone without even the gold bag being there. They went, oh, okay, which is called respect.
Yes.
This is what Jean likes. This is, if Jean's have that, I feel good. It's a knock-on effect. And so to set a boundary is saying, if you come into my house to play, work or whatever, take your shoes off, or they're not rules. It's just this is what I need to feel respected. So yeah, boundaries are massive this year.
And
Massive.
from a business owner's perspective, just on top of that, it's not just this is what I need to feel good, this is what I need to show up at my best so I can give you my best.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Boundaries with when I book the venues. No, we've got to have this and this and this. No lies. Like minties are not allowed. Usually it's like pen, pad, and mint. No, I teach no sugar. The lollies away. Which those things then bring an energy that when someone steps into your field, it's like, there's like a match of energy and a certain respect. It uplifts them as well. The clients get uplifted as well.
Yeah. And you mentioned emergency before, and that was something else that came up for us, is that someone else's emergency is no longer our emergency. And I think that when you think about it like that, and like you say, in the 70s and the 80s, we didn't have mobile phones and the emergencies sorted themselves out. We still found out what we needed to find out. And it's freeing. And I guess that's your 5. That's the freedom, right? You were already pointing before it even came out. Exactly. Yes. Yeah. Boundaries create freedom.
Look, and it's freedom of the mind. People think I'm free. Like I've got so many clients, so I'm millionaires, billionaires, and people go, once I'm a millionaire or billionaire, I'll be so free. They've got more responsibility. And there's that thing of they supposedly got freedom with money, but they've got more. The more they have, the more responsibility you have. And they need to set boundaries. They need to be able to go, what's the freedom? And freedom is in the mind. It's not when we have, I'm freer because I just need to hold on to this while I'm listening to you. Yeah, I'm listening. Oh, wait, what happened? That's entrapment by the phone. What about just being right here, respond and able, and if you learn and be present, you are so much more able than shattered everywhere. And in fact, they talk about when you multitask, which women are known for multitasking, when you multitask, can't get anything done. And if I'm focused on writing one of the magazine articles that I write for, and then a team comes in and says, oh, but Jen, I need, you're in this zone, and then it takes 25 minutes to get back in the zone.
Sometimes, 25 would have to be a minimum. Like there are some times where if I'm knocked out of that zone, I cannot get it back in the same way. Just, it's like once that creativity's, it's stopped, it's like, it goes in a different direction. Yeah, it doesn't continue in the same direction.
No. And that relates to mathematics, that I'm responding and able, I'm focused on writing the magazine article. In comes one of my team, says something so that they can have freedom. I go into over responsibility for them rather than saying not now. And then that gets me entrapment, because the opposite, freedom, is entrapment. And so there's actually a mathematical formula, and it happens every year, the opposite number. And it's just, okay, what am I responsible for? So you're saying business owners, coaches, or in personal, what am I responsible for? You know, it could be just sit down with a cup of tea, ice water, champagne. List all the things you're responsible for, personally or professionally. The children, those sort of business owners, coaches with children, or animals. Where are you responsible for the animal behaving that way? What's going to give you freedom? All these responsibilities are yours? Are they really? And the emergency, like, is that yours? Do you have to have that?
Just while you were talking, something came up for me, and you just answered it then, but I want to touch on it for people that weren't on my train of thought, which no one was.
What?
Right? Right? You're talking about responsibility, and is it really? Something that I was having a conversation with a really good friend just now, and he's an amazing coach. And we were talking about the difference between the responsibility of us giving our clients, our genius, our services, our training, and the difference of the responsibility of feeling that they have to get the success or get the
results or
result.
anything.
Result is the word I was looking for, because we're not actually responsible for their result, and we can't force that. And I wanted to tap into that a little bit more from your perspective, because this I see holding so many coaches back.
Yeah.
You were talking about their big hearts, and what they do is think, oh, I'm responsible for their results. But we cannot ever be responsible for someone else's results. Is there something that you can add to that?
Absolutely. So we've got the basic responsibility. Is that mine? And running a list, as we all know, the RAS, we're conscious of, oh, what? And writing it, it's like, and then we can clarify and define and whatever. But then in comes personal responsibility. And part of my awareness is I see inside the body. I'm not clairvoyant, psychic, or medium. Just to see inside the body, and I integrate my nursing. And I explain that each body part holds these emotions. So responsibility in the shoulders. And you hear people, my shoulders are way down with the responsibility, because it's held there. But then there's another part right here on my palmares called the thymus gland. It's our immune system. And in that area is self-responsibility. Self-responsibility is the only thing I'm responsible for is me. And so if I give my client Gertrude, I've given her the program. I've given her support. I've given her maybe an extra little gift of another week for free or something, and she still doesn't take action, or she doesn't get the results. One, is that me trying to be responsible and over parent and over give and whatever? I need to take self-responsibility and go, I did give her that thing, but all I've got to do is give her that one program, whatever it is, give her that one thing. That's it. That's self-responsibility. Just do that. Because if I don't, what is the knock-on effect back to me? And then we can go into, oh my gosh, I've gone back into people pleasing, and I learned that from my mum, and I need to be accepted or keep busy, and that's a sign of guilt, or, as we all do as coaches and self-analyze.
All the stuff. Yeah.
But it's like self-responsibility is, here's the thing, they are so able, just like me. Are they subconsciously not wanting to be able to? Are they subconsciously wanting to still be in a disabled position? It's not or taken from responsibility, not my job to fix or to alter or anything. If they're still in that place, is it self-responsibility? Is it my own story that if I was in that position and I got what I gave, I would have taken it? Stop, self-responsible. I offered that. They took it. They didn't go through with it. No problems. That's okay. I can, if they said, oh, is there anything else? I can then say, well, I've got this other package here, if you'd like. If it's a match, if in self-responsibility, it's like, and we do have clients that are challenging for us. It's too much for me and my self-responsibility care. I have to actually say no. It's just too much. So that's the next level. And I have in self-responsibility gone, I had someone for 12 months. And after 12 months of mentoring, it's called the Genius Program, because I'm Jean. Get it? Jean.
Oh,
program.
Very good. But
it just got to, and I'm aligning it with sacred geometry, and each of the months and whatever, and each time she just kept going into not taking responsibility. It got to the end of the year of December, and I just sent an email of, I'm not able to support you. The flick back, you didn't take your responsibility. No, I did. is actually not healthy for me to keep looking after her because she was draining me. So that's self-responsibility.
Yeah.
Even though, or in July, I always take the month off. You can pay me $5 million, $20 million. The answer is no. Because I
Yeah.
have the months off. That's self-responsibility. It's like, no, I'm not. My boundaries say, I need this space. This is what I need. So that's the extent of responsibility.
Totally. And the another part, a small part of that is it's us forcing what we think the result should be.
Yeah. Well, forcing / encouragement / enthusiasm / like,
Yeah,
aren't they all
I think
really
it's
the same?
Yeah, I guess it's, well, I think you should be getting these results. But what happens if that person's not getting that result you think they should be getting, but they're getting something else from it?
Then that comes into self-responsibility. What are my expectations that I think Gertrude will get this, but she actually got that?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, love it. So responsibility, freedom are very big pieces. How can, as business owners, what are some of the ways that you would encourage or have ideas for people to look at to bring freedom in? That, this big idea of freedom, because freedom's a big word. We always are like, yeah, we want more freedom. But like, if we were going to really bring it in, what are some of the areas that you suggest that people could look into?
Straight away, when I'm teaching this one to corporate world of how to manifest, I always say, set your personal goals first. Even though it's business, you must set your goals first for your personal life. Have you booked one holiday a month? Now, that could be just staying at home and mowing the garden and mowing the lawn. So look after you first. What's your why? Go back to your why. Because in business, we would have started, like someone that I was mentoring this morning, he started his business creating kitchens because he saw when the building industry was like booming in Queensland. There was a company he worked for that was charging humongous price for really crappy work. And he went, and he's quite humanitarian. He said, it's just not on. So he ventured out, created our own business. And he said, no, yes, I need to make a profit, be responsible because I've got family, but I can't do that part. And so in the self-responsibility, now I got myself sidetracked because I was sharing the story. What was the question again?
The question was areas that we can look at for freedom.
Well, yeah. So freedom, what happened was he ran so much with excitement and the team that he got that he was working every day. He actually felt freedom. He actually felt free because he likes to get a goal and see a result. Now he pops into the business once a week because he has managers. But he had freedom by being there all the time, whatever, till he burned himself out to take responsibility, to take action, because that's the next thing. What's the action that you not only personally can we work out what can we do? He went, I didn't set up the business to be there every day. I set it up because of that original why. Now I want to have freedom, which is surf every day, pop in when I want to. So I was working out, again, do I need those responsibilities? What's freedom to me? So freedom for him originally was work every day, long hours, get the production out, whatever, until he burned himself out. So it's really questioning a very personal thing of what gives me freedom? And then where am I over responsible? And looking at the two, okay, that can go, that would make me free. I can implement that would get, so it's actually a personal thing. That's why I'm doing the two lists, being really conscious of them, would probably that people get to answer their own question of what can we do? What's the action? I only know for me, you only know for you. And then you might hear from other people. What do? I have 4 VAs. I have a bookkeeper why? I love numbers. I don't want to work them out for the business. Then I have an accountant. Can you make it look all pretty? Can you make sure it's all right? I have a masseuse that massages me once a month. That's freedom, because then I can be a vegetable on the bed and just, I'm giving. I just got to receive. So yeah, it's working out what do I need to do, but always personal first. Always. Responsibilities have you got at home? I'm the breadwinner. I've got a thing. Because that's a knock-on effect to the business. And then they don't set the boundaries and they overwork and whatever.
Yeah, totally. And I think that it's the to me, like what is freedom to me, that's the actual magic piece. Because I'm sure I'm not the only one in the world that has done this, seen other people doing things that really light them up and then trying it and going, oh, that wasn't my thing. Yay, I achieved it, but I don't feel great for it. It didn't light me up.
Yeah, and that it's always a personal journey. And that's why I said for me, VAs, whereas I've had clients of business that have had VAs and got frustrated. I used to have an in-person PA before 2020. It was great. I went, oh my gosh, I'm not going to cope. I do. I actually get to go out for an outing once a day. One day a week. I get to go to the post office. I get to go to the banking. I get to go to stationery shopping. That's actually freedom because I get off technology.
Yes.
So we're always looking at which is personal responsibility, but we're told that is so selfish. No, it's not.
No.
It's personal responsibility. I have to do this for me.
For people that are listening and you want to give them one lasting piece in regards to the energy of 2024 or anything to do with sacred geometry, that's just going to have them walking away going, that's exactly what I needed to hear. What is it?
Ask the question, am I responsible for this? Will it give me freedom? That's it. It's so simple. And that's like each number has a something. Am I responsible for this? Is it going to give me freedom? That's it. That only thing that they need to remember on a question and set the and then when you got your answer, set a boundary.
I love that.
That'll be easy year just to go and then catch yourself out when you're over responsible. You've got, I have everything heart shape, as you know.
Yes.
Heart shape post-it notes. Stick the post-it note everywhere, behind the visor, where you're doing your lipstick, on the laptop, everywhere. Just that poster.
So funny. Because when you were saying, I'm like, I'm going to write down a post-it note and put it on my laptop. And then you said it. We're so on the same page. Jean Sheehan, it has been an absolute pleasure to have you on the show. Thank you for coming and sharing your genius. It's just been wonderful. For people that want to stay connected with you, how can they do that?
Absolutely. Social media-wise, Facebook, where I do lots of free training. That's what I use Facebook for. And, of course, Instagram, TikTok, and all that sort of stuff. Or go to my website, Millennium Education, or the YouTube, again, free training, Millennium Education.
Well, definitely look up Jean. She's got heaps of free training. She's always popping up in my notifications that she's going live and talking about something fabulous. So definitely connect. And like I said, Jean, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Thank you, beautiful.